dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
And good evening, I'm Jim Freeman. River cleanups are taking place across Letcher County. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox details how volunteers have gathered in one small town to pick up flood debris.
Mud has been pushed out of roads as Neon is rebuilding. The recovery process has been long and hard.
Well, we're quite a ways from where we want to be, but it's a slow process, you know. But cleanups like we have today and get our buildings fixed back.
Dozens gathered, from teenagers to adults, to take part in a river cleanup. They split up into groups and spread out through town fishing debris out of creeks. I'm
really proud of the people in town. They've done excellent getting businesses and churches and everything back up and running. This flood was just a lot worse than the ones we've ever had before.
Some of the volunteers are still coming from out of state.
I have people contact me every day and say, hey, can I do this or I do that? Even a lot of people away from here are still calling, wanting to come in and help out.
Months after the flood, people are still getting their water boots on and picking up debris. In Neon, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Thank you, Chandler. A river sweep was also held at Jenkins. Another one was scheduled in Whitesburg, but it was postponed because of recent heavy rain. In the last several months, we've heard countless stories of people traveling from beyond the mountains to help those impacted by the flood. And today, a few volunteers from North Carolina set up in Jenkins to continue offering their support. Through the Flood of Hope Spring Festival, volunteers aim to bring the Jenkins community together and to offer a sense of hope to those who've endured so much. Volunteers played gospel music, made food, and even offered inflatables for kids, with hopes of showing people they still have support in the months following the flood.
To come in and see that people are still struggling and that houses are still not livable, it breaks your heart. And so that's part of our goal, is to be able to say, hey, we're still here to help. We care about you, we love you, and we want you to know that we are still willing to help, and there are still people out there that are willing to help.
Several of the volunteers at today's festival have been volunteering on the front lines since the flood happened. Festival volunteer Josh DeHart says he and others volunteers have plans to continue helping the area as long as they're able to.
Well, the weather is fantastic as we go into this evening. Plenty of sunshine and blue sky, but we are watching out for rain chances by tomorrow. Here's a live look right now over at Buffalo Mountain, looking at plenty of sunshine and that temperature very warm. 73 degrees right now over in southern Perry County and up on radar. We remain dry at this hour, and that will continue for the rest of your evening as well. But notice back to the west, we are tracking some severe weather over portions of Arkansas and Missouri. A tornado watch at this hour for St. Louis. Now that system, it will continue moving off to the east, and that will bring us some showers as well as we get into your Sunday. Temperatures this evening, they are very mild, upper 70s for most of us. 77 for Somerset, 77 also in Jackson, and 76 over in Pikeville. If you have any plans to have dinner outside this evening, the weather is fantastic. Dry, sunshine, middle 70s, a little bit warm out there actually, but very nice and comfortable as we go into tonight. Details on storms and rain chances on Sunday coming up in just a little bit. Jim?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Funeral services continue for the Louisville bank shooting victims. Josh Barrick was laid to rest this morning. Yesterday, funerals were held for Thomas Elliott and Deanna Eckert. Eckert's funeral was held in Indiana, where she lived. Elliott's funeral was held at Broadway Baptist Church in Louisville. A close friend of his says he's still in disbelief.
You go through that period of shock, and then you go through the disbelief. And then it settles in, and you don't really know this is for real. And that's where we are right now. And I think that's going to go for a long time, because everybody's going to remember Tommy Elliott.
Arrangements have not yet been announced for Juliana Farmer. Louisville Metro police officers are receiving support from their fellow officers after Monday's mass shooting. The department has a peer support group that helps officers deal with traumatic events in a healthy way. The group has also been at the hospital with Officer Nicholas Wilt, the officer who was shot in the head while responding to the mass shooting. They say just being there for fellow officers can make all the difference.
So we are showing that support by being there and offering any services that we can for that family. We let them know how proud we are that we wear the same badge and uniform.
At last check, Officer Wilt is still in critical condition. Coming up next, the U.S. Coast Guard continues to search for a group of American sailors after they went missing more than a week ago.
And the weather is quiet this evening, but showers and storms are possible on Sunday. Those details coming up after this break.